travel here, Mr. Michael Austin. 27 years in the joint, you go to South Africa, and for those who may not know, Nelson Mandela did 27 years in the prison from our perspective for something that he did not do. How did it feel?
For me, it was a spiritual experience to have an opportunity to go back, not go back, but to go to Africa and see actually how people live and how creative, intelligent they are, and how loving that they are. And not only that, how many languages they can speak. And
How many can they speak?
a lot of people speak 3 or 4 different languages.
A lot of us here in Baltimore and North
Yeah.
America, we can't even get one down.
Yeah, and one of the things that I recognized was that these are the rich cultural things that was taken from me, and I had a first-hand experience in realizing that. And Africa, gave me an opportunity to understand basically what our people was really about and how our people continue to strive and to be able to be respected around the world, especially in South Africa. My experience dealing with the kids in Utamba organization was an opportunity for me to reach out to some of those kids and get involved in hip hop and music with them and have an opportunity to trying to get them to empower themselves.
Slide up a little bit, man.
The same way the brothers in Baltimore is trying to get the kids in our community to empower themselves. It's the same situation in South Africa.
What else went through your mind as soon as you got on the ground?
Um, I had a feeling I was home. I had a feeling that I was home and that I wanted to absorb this feeling and trying to keep it in my soul for the rest of my life. It was a feeling that I was with my people. It was a feeling that knowing that I really have an identity. And it was a feeling of being blessed by God for having an opportunity to go to South Africa and Durban.
Media imagery, what they think of us, what you learned about them, contrary to mainstream media. That's what we try to do on BeMoreNews.com, is to bring forth the voice of the people. So fresh back from Durban, South Africa, what now do you think of the mainstream media perception of them, of us, of those in the Caribbean and those throughout the African diaspora?
Yeah, well, it's propaganda. It's the same thing.
Propaganda?
Yeah, basically.
What?
Basically, in my mind, it's like the Europeans, in my opinion, now have worked on us real good in terms of not allowing us to understand who we are and the value of who we are as a person and as a people. My experience in South Africa gave me that opportunity to have first-hand experience and understanding that we, for centuries, has been neglected, disrespected, and not having an opportunity to be who we are as a people, because we are the people. We are the people who created this whole universe that we're in now.
But the original people, the oldest
Exactly.
bones in the world
Exactly.
were found in Kenya.
Every time they go dig up, they come up with a black bone. So what I'm saying to you, because of my experience in Africa, I know who I'm beginning to know who I am. I'm beginning to understand the value of who I am as a black man.
So when you came back here and you hear things like, 8, 9, 10 murders over the weekend in Baltimore and in D.C., your thoughts?
We have a lot of work to do. Just like the young brother said, it's time for the men to come out and begin to work in the community. I was working with an organization started, the Circle of Black Men, who had Father's Day free car wash.
East Baltimore?
East Baltimore, Monument Street. So we just have to get out in the community. The same thing the brothers are doing in Africa, getting out in the community, working with the kids, trying to get the kids some positive reinforcement.
Oh yeah, HIV/AIDS. I told you the Global Vessels, the group I went with to Ethiopia and Tanzania, they're building orphanages for children who lost both parents to AIDS. You said you had some experience.
Yeah, the
you saw something like that over there?
Yeah, the organization that we're working with, a few of the kids, one of the young girls, most of the young girls are prostitutes because they street kids. And because of their prostitutes, they catch HIV. And one of the young girls at the center, she sung a song, and she had HIV. She had just lost her baby. So, most of the kids' parents who are street kids have died from AIDS. So that's why a lot of those kids are in the street today. And that's why the center is trying to encourage them to get involved and, empower themselves as young kids, and they're doing what they can to assist them.
Okay, one more thing, and we'll let Maya give her final thoughts. You want to go back to South Africa?
Yeah, we plan to go back next April and have a fundraiser for Umtambo and trying to help facilitate the process of them being able to have some clothes for the kids and get the community involved. There's a lot of young kids that I met at the University of Durban Technology School who want to get involved. So our aim is to go back next year and encourage those young kids in the community to get involved. And the information that I bring from South Africa, I want to be able to share in the community here because they have a lot of initiatives there that are actually working in terms of getting the community involved in their own communities, and like the brother said, and not wait for someone else to come in and do the job and the responsibility that we supposed to have as men. The men in our community is running and hiding for a lot of different reasons, you know, because they have a lot of personal problems because of the economy. But I think if you come out in the community and see these young kids and see how these young kids are looking for leadership, I believe that we can begin to change our community one day at a time. It's not a lot of work. I see it done in Africa, and this.
And we way ahead of them. We got
Yes.
running water. A lot of them don't have running water. You heard me?
Yeah, Africa to me is a reminiscent of the 60s.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of community involvement. And that's how it used to be in Baltimore City. It used to be a lot. You used to take your kid and just drop it next door and say, I'll be right back. You can't do
And not worry about it.
No, and not worry about it.
Yeah.
So my experience in Africa is one that I will always remember and cherish, and I intend to go back next year and hopefully get a bigger grant and do some work down there.
How can people get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me at Michael Austin. My email, endthistogether@aol.com.
One more time.
Michael Austin, endthistogether@aol.com.
And that's Michael Austin, A-U?
STIN.
Okay. In this together
Right.
at AOL.com.
Exactly.
Good deal. Keep it going, man.
Thank you very much.
Love and respect you, man.
Thank you.
And by the